organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Tonight on Daily Iowan TV, a look at history. Find out how your ancestors had to do for a single stick of butter.
And you'll probably wear green next week, but do you know why?
And in sports,
Iowa emptied their bullpen in their win over AIB.
We're bringing all of this and more coming up.
You're watching Daily Iowan TV. Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. I'm Greta Miley.
And I'm Austin Love.
Before we get started tonight, we have a quick update for you on the Casey Fredrickson trial. Fredrickson will spend the rest of his life in prison without parole.
He was convicted earlier this week of first-degree murder and first-degree sexual abuse in the 2005 death of 5-year-old Evelyn Miller. Evelyn went missing in Floyd County in 2005 while Fredrickson was watching her. Officials found her body in the Cedar River less than a week later.
2 police officers who were shot in Ferguson early this morning were released from the hospital later this afternoon. The shooting was sparked from the ongoing protests happening around the state. However, police have yet to find a suspect for what they call an ambush. This comes just one day after Ferguson's police chief resigned.
A famous state party fundraiser is moving, but don't worry, the venue isn't moving too far down the road. Our Republicans announced this morning the Central Iowa Expo grounds in Boone will host the 2015 Straw Poll on August 8th. This is the first time the Straw Poll, which is held each summer before the first presidential caucus, will be changing venues since its creation in 1979. The event is typically held at the Iowa State University campus in Ames.
3 building projects in Iowa City will take longer to finish than expected, if they ever even do. This comes after the City Council denied an amendment to a comprehensive plan for the city earlier this week. The proposed change was to add 3 blocks on Gilbert Street between Iowa Avenue and Burlington Street. The 2 biggest projects affected are the Chauncey High Rise building and new property for the new Pioneer Co-op.
And for more news around Iowa City, we'll toss it now to Bobby Wonka-Malasai in this week's Arts and Entertainment.
Hey guys, welcome to this week's Arts and Entertainment. I'm Bobby Wonka-Malasai. When thinking about food, we often wonder where it comes from. Well, I took a look at where Iowa's culinary origins started. There are culinary traditions beyond the years of America which were brought over here by settlers adapted to the available resources. Iowa City's Old Capitol Museum is displaying culinary traditions and agricultural practices dating back as far as 1708. The exhibition called Iowa's Culinary Heritage opened up after 6 months of research and planning by the co-curators Catherine Mormon and Colleen Tyson.
And it kind of shows that we still have these wonderful roots, these varied traditions and roots in Iowa and Iowa's food. And it, on various levels, it can relate to anyone.
You can find a batch of food-ridden, oily 200-year-old cookbooks to a 300-year-old worn-out coffee grinder. The artifacts in the exhibit teach us where the ideas came from for the kitchen appliances and tools we still use every day.
There should be something for everyone in here, whether it be history or a beautiful image of a vegetable that was grown, an heirloom variety that was grown in Iowa during that time, or a neat object that maybe someone has a similar one in their attic that they want to get out and try using again.
Additional events are planned, such as cooking classes for kids of all ages to whip up some traditional Scottish oat cakes, Norwegian coffee, and Danish evilskever. You can head over to the exhibit until the beginning of August. That's all I have here in Arts and Entertainment. Back to you guys at the desk.
St. Patrick's Day right around the corner. Many here in Iowa City are preparing for the celebration. Mitch McAndrew has more.
St. Patty's Day has come to be famous for the big parades, all the beer, and all green everything. But what's the history behind the holiday, and what does that mean to people? What do you think the history of St. Patrick's Day entails?
I'm not really certain. I know that St. Patrick did something, I think 13th, 14th century regarding something.
Playing?
March. Just March Madness.
starting a little basketball season or something. Wait, that's not right.
Is that right? It's not right. No, it's not right, sir. I'm sorry to inform you that's not right. Believe it or not, St. Patrick's Day is actually a religious holiday that marks the death of, you guessed it, St. Patrick, the patron saint of Ireland. It also celebrates the arrival of Christianity on the Emerald Isle. Many St. Paddy's Day traditions are derived from the Lenten restrictions that are lifted, particularly consuming alcohol. As past years have shown, there are many ways to celebrate that tradition here in Iowa City. The folks here at Donnelly's Irish Pub in downtown Iowa City are no strangers to the St. Patrick's Day festivities. In fact, they embrace them.
It's awesome. It's exciting. I think that St. Patrick's Day is like synonymous with like the welcoming of spring. So I think kind of everybody gets out of their hibernation from the winter and the city sort of comes alive just for that one afternoon. People take the day off of work. They take the day off of work the next day sometimes.
Reporting from the Ped Mall, I'm Mitch McAndrew for Daily Iowan TV.
Look for St. Patrick's Day festivities to begin this weekend and continue on to the holiday itself, which falls on a Tuesday this year.
And it looks like it's going to be a warm St. Patty's Day this year, Austin.
Yes, it does. Greta, let's toss it over to the weather studio now to see what we can expect over spring break.
Well, this week, people have been out and about enjoying temps into the 60s. We haven't seen that warm of weather since October. I was looking back at weather over the years, and what often happens is that there is a big jump in temps from highs in the 60s to highs in the 70s during the third week of March, which is next week. But that's going to be pushed back to the fourth week of March this time around, so don't expect swimsuit weather just yet. Tomorrow, we will see a sneak peek of that even warmer weather when it will reach the mid-60s in the afternoon. For that morning walk, we'll see temperatures in the high 30s, turning into the upper 50s by lunchtime, and into the evening, temps will return to the 50s. It will drop back down a little over the weekend, but could still reach the 60s. And the good news is the sunny skies will stick around until Monday, where we may see another warm day in the mid-60s. But again, next week is going to be a little chilly with highs in the 50s, so don't put away your jackets just yet. That's all I have for weather. Austin and Greta, back to you.
Even though the weather is heating up, many students are leaving. Spring break starts next week, and students are taking full advantage. We send Cole Johnson to find out where some of the hot spots are for the Hawkeyes.
While midterm week is coming to a close, many students are looking forward to one thing, spring break. I caught up with a few students to see what they have planned for the week.
Where are you going for spring break this year?
I am going to Ixtapa, Mexico.
And you'll be saving money because you're going with your family, right?
Exactly, so I won't have to pay for anything.
Definitely some bonuses to that.
Yes, definitely.
I'm going home, I'm getting my break in, I'm resting, all good stuff.
Any other plans while you're home?
We might take a trip to St. Louis. It's still in the works, we're not really sure yet. We have to go see the City Museum again.
I'm just going back home to Indiana.
Do you have any plans while you're at home?
Not really. I'm just gonna see my family.
I'm going to Hawaii for spring break.
I'm already dressed for Hawaii. Do you think so?
I'd say yeah. I need to get my Hawaiian shirts out.
As you guys can tell, I am very excited about spring break. I'm Cole Johnson, and on behalf of everyone at DITV, have a great week off.
And the nice weather has been in the Iowa Hawkeye baseball team's favor this week.
That's right, Austin. For more on that, we'll toss it to Austin Luce and Aaron Gallagher standing by in the sports studio.
Thanks, guys. I could definitely get used to this nice weather for spring sports. Did you get a chance to enjoy it this weekend?
You know I did, Aaron. I was actually lucky enough to go spend my time watching America's favorite pastime as the University of Iowa baseball team played in their home opener yesterday against the AIB Eagles. They won that game 7-1, and 2015 has been a special season thus far for the Hawks, in particular for two pitchers. Take a look. The Iowa baseball team is off to a 10-1 start in the young 2015 season as they are building off a successful 2014 campaign under second-year coach Rick Heller. For two members of the Hawkeye squad, this season means they get to be back in the dugout together, something they had become quite used to during their careers.
I know we've been playing with each other since, I don't know, probably since Little League, so we've known each other real well, been best friends over the years.
Pitchers Calvin Matthews and Josh Marching have been teammates since Little League and led their alma mater Davis County to an Iowa State baseball title in 2011. Marching recently made his first appearance in 2015 in relief of Matthews after undergoing Tommy John surgery last year.
I was just happy for Josh, and the whole team was, that he was able to get back out there and pitch as well as he did, and it just shows you what we're going to get down the road. Pretty crazy to have two pitchers as good as they are come from the same little high school, Davis County Bloomfield, and great for their town in southeast Iowa, and it's awesome to have them up here.
I mean, first of all, it was good to be back there, after taking a year off. But, Calvin did a great job like usual, and I was just the next man in, and I was able to get the job done. He just went out and proved himself. He hadn't really had a chance yet to go out and prove himself since he had Tommy John, so it was just nice to see him go out there and get his confidence back and have a few solid innings for us on the mound.
The bond between these two outstanding student athletes has helped them grow from small town Class 2A Iowa State champions to household names in the Big Ten. Austin Luce, Daily Iowan TV Sports. The Iowa baseball team will be headed south over spring break as they make a trip to Texas to take on Houston Baptist. In closing out spring break, they will head back to the Midwest to face the Kansas Jayhawks in Lawrence starting on March 20th.
It was an unexpectedly short appearance for the men's basketball team in the Big Ten tournament today. Number 13th ranked Penn State pulled the upset over Iowa, ranked at the number 5 spot.
Iowa led most of the game up by 8 at halftime, but once Penn State took the lead in the second half, the Hawkeyes just couldn't claw back. Final score ended in a 67-58 win for the Nittany Lions. For more on the loss, check out our blog at dailyiowansports.com.
The last home meet was an emotional night for the women's gymnastics team. For the seniors, it was the last time they would compete in Carver Hawkeye Arena. And who better to close out their season against than their in-state rival, Iowa State.
The Hawkeyes were able to come out on top against the Cyclones after 4 rotations, with sophomore Angel Metcalf leading the Hawkeyes with her performance on the beam. And senior Sydney Hare with another impressive floor routine, giving her a career best on the event with a 9.925. Another senior with a big night was Caitlin Tanzer, who tallied her season best with a 9.725 on her floor routine. Tanzer said emotions were high all night, and the girls were focusing on giving it their all to honor their seniors.
Honestly, every time we come out here is incredible, but it was even more amazing tonight, just having it senior night and everyone just, pulling for you in every single way possible. And you could tell everyone was just giving it their all, no matter what.
The Hawks closed out the competition with a 195.775 to 195.175 victory over ISU. Head coach Larissa Libby said she is proud of the team and happy for the seniors after such a big win.
But I'm also so grateful that it turned out as well as it did. We wanted the seniors to make sure that they took a second after every time they landed to just appreciate what's been done.
But Libby and the team are now setting their sights on the Big Ten tournament and some kinks that they need to work on before then.
We're making mistakes on the events that are easy, which is interesting. We need to go back and work on getting those landings a little bit better, casting the handstand every single time. The thing that I like is that they're controlling their environment.
And controlled environment will be extremely important as the Gym Hawks have a tough road ahead, taking on Michigan, Minnesota, Penn State, and Rutgers on Saturday for the Big 5 meet, and then traveling to Ann Arbor, Michigan for the Big Ten Championship on March 21st.
I mean, it'll just be fun to get out there and show everyone what we've been working on, and it's been an incredible season. We've been building ever since the beginning, and I expect us to continue to climb throughout the end of season.
Taylor Bartz, Daily Iowan TV.
Thanks, Taylor. The win over the Cyclones was their first since March of 2013. The Big 5 meet on Saturday begins at 4 in the Sports Pavilion in Minneapolis.
The meet will serve as the Big Ten qualifier, deciding which session the teams will compete in what session and what their rotation order is. Iowa will face off against 3 ranked competitors at the number 6 Wolverines, number 20 Gophers, and the number 12 Nittany Lions.
Well, that's all we have time for in sports tonight. Back to you guys at the desk.
And before we go, do you remember this selfie from last week's newscast? As much as you and I might like a good selfie, it's causing some people some major headaches.
That's right, Austin. You may have to leave that snazzy selfie stick you like so much at home on your next trip. Chateau de Versailles and London's National Gallery are the latest tourist attractions announcing the ban of these devices. Officials say the camera extender poles are not only obnoxious but dangerous to their visitors.
In the U.S., the Smithsonian Design Museum in New York has already banned the devices from their building. Well, that'll do us here at Daily Iowan TV.
Just a little heads up, we will be taking a week off from our newscasts over spring break.
But don't worry, we'll be back at our normal schedule starting Sunday, March 22nd. I'm Austin Love.
And I'm Greta Miley. Thanks for watching.
Have a great spring break.